Okay, yeah, that's good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. It's a beautiful afternoon for some baseball this afternoon in Ann Arbor. Blue skies, a little bit of a cloud, 50 degrees here at Ray Fisher Stadium. I'm Jared Greenspan alongside Eddie Olejniczak here to bring you coverage of the Wolverines and Nittany Lions. It's the third game of a three-game set to open Big Ten play. Michigan's romped in the first two games of this series, and Eddie, they're going for the sweep this afternoon.
Yeah, no, it should be a great game out there. I'm excited to see this team. Pitching is going to be key for Michigan today. They've been great at it this entire weekend, so we'll see where they go from there. And we got Reinhardt on the mound, so it's going to be a great game.
Well, both teams are being introduced right now, the starting nine. Let's set the starting lineups for you. First, for the visiting team, it's the Penn State Nittany Lions, looking to salvage one game in this three-game set and avoid the sweep. Leading off and catching is the senior Thomas Bramley. Behind him is the shortstop in the two-hole Jay Harry. Kyle Hannon, the second baseman, bats third, and batting cleanup is the center fielder Johnny Piacentino. Batting fifth and the designated hitter for today's ball game is Bobby Marsh, the left-handed slugger. In the sixth hole, Billy Gerlach, the right fielder. At the hot corner and batting seventh is Grant Norris. C.J. Pataro plays first base and bats eighth. And Taven Kelly rounds out your nine in left field. On the bump for the Nittany Lions this afternoon is Jaden Henline, the lanky 6'2" right-handed pitcher, sports a 3.63 earned run average. He's given up 7 runs in 17 and a third innings pitched on this season. For the home team, the Michigan Wolverines come into this game with a record at even 500 of 11-11. They've won the first two games of this series. A sizzling hot offense has scored over 10 runs in 3 straight games, and that red-hot offense is anchored by the shortstop, Cody Jeffers. He's 4 for 9 this series, including a 3-hit game on Friday. Jake Marty bats second and plays left field. Ted Burton in the 3-hole at second base. He's driven in 5 runs this series. Joe Longo draws the start at DH and bats fourth. He homered in yesterday's ball game. Joey Velasquez bats fifth and plays right field. He's 3 for 7 in the series. Gabe Sotrace, the catcher, trying to get off the schneid, bats sixth. Jack Van Remortel at first base batting seventh. In the 8-hole is the freshman Mitch Voigt. He plays third. And Jonathan Kim, the left-handed hitter and center fielder, bats ninth. Wolverines send Nolan Renard to the hill. 2.91 ERA in 21.2 innings pitched. He struck out 24 batters and allows hitters to hit just 187 against him. The big 6'3" right-hander in the midst of a stellar season, and he's making his first start of the year this afternoon. We last saw Renard take the hill on Friday, exactly a week ago against Bradley, where he got 8 outs in 2 2/3 scoreless innings. Michigan and Penn State almost ready to go from Ray Fisher Stadium. Wolverines eyeing a sweep to begin Big Ten play. One of the things that Tracy Smith talked about was that the start of Big Ten play beckoned an opportunity and a fresh slate after the Wolverines had a difficult and disappointing stretch in non-conference. It was an opportunity to wipe things clean, and they're making good on that opportunity so far, 2 games in. Michigan wearing their navy blue tops with maize numbering and maize lettering and clean white pants. The visiting Nittany Lions wearing the all grays with blue numbering and blue lettering. It's a picture-perfect day for baseball, or as close as it gets on March 26th. A little bit of wind blowing in, a cool 49 degrees, blue skies, and the Wolverines take the field. Into the Onto the mound is Nolan Renard, the 6'3" right-hander, in the midst of a stellar season, coming off a full week's worth of rest, and he draws the start today, his first of the year. We'll see how long he's stretched out for. He's thrown as many as 65 pitches in a relief appearance this season. That was back on February 19th, but he's been a steady option for Michigan coach Tracy Smith. He's allowed 1 run or less in 8 of 9 outings on the season. And that was the seniors really coming strong. He allowed a 5.27 ERA last season, but it's been a totally different tale for Renard this year. Right-handed pitcher throws his warm-up pitches. Penn State stacks 3 left-handers at the top of their batting order to go up against Renard. It's Bramley, Harry, and Hannon, 1, 2, 3 in the order. All 3 hitters batting above 300, and they all swing from the left-hand side. Your umpiring crew for this afternoon: David Condon will call balls and strikes behind home plate, Thomas Burrell Jr. at first base, Jeff Day, the second base umpire, and Wilson Rayner at the hot corner. Well, just about ready to go for baseball from Ann Arbor. Thomas Bramley, the left-handed hitting catcher, digs in on the right side of the box. Renard stands on the mound as Sotrace goes back behind the plate and into a crouch. Bramley steps in, and we're ready for baseball from Ray Fisher Stadium. Wolverines and Nittany Lions. Renard kicks and deals a first pitch strike. 0-1. 1:01 p.m. Your first pitch time. Your first pitch temperature, a cool 49 degrees. As Michigan goes for the sweep today against Penn State. Here comes the 0-1, and it's chopped foul up the first base line. 0-2. Van Remortel at first had that line covered against Bramley. Bramley, a .319 hitter. Not a ton of power, but he gets on base at a .466 clip, the highest in the Penn State batting order. Renard ahead in the count, 0-2. Into the windup and deal. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball in the dirt. And Nolan Renard starts his day with a K. Jay Harry into the box for the Nittany Lions, another left-handed hitter, hitting a cool .308 on the year, slugs it at a .564 clip. Renard kicks the dirt and deals a fastball that dots the outside corner, 0-1, and Nolan Renard has come out firing early in this one. Renard deals the 0-1. And it dips inside, just misses, 1-1. Outfield straight up, fairly deep. Against the left-handed hitting Harry. Here comes the 1-1, and that just misses on an off-speed pitch on the outside half of the plate, and it's 2-1. Kyle Hannon looms on deck for the Nittany Lions, whose hitting has been okay this series, but their pitching has really done them in. Here comes Renard's 2-1. Harry lifts it toward left center. Shading over is Marty. He has it lined up, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down to begin the top of the first for Nolan Renard, the senior right-handed pitcher, a native of Santa Rosa, California. Drawing his first start of the year this afternoon for the Wolverines, eyeing a sweep against the Nittany Lions. His first pitch to Hannon is a fastball that dots the outside corner at 89 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 to Hannon, and he lays off the off-speed pitch outside, 1-1. Hannon 1 for 3 in yesterday's ball game. Jeffries, the shortstop, is shaded up the middle against the left-handed hitter. Here comes the 1-1, ripped into right center, and that's down for a base hit. Velasquez over to field it, as Hannon takes a hard turn around first and then holds on for a 2-out single. So first base runner of the game for either side comes via a line drive single for Kyle Hannon. got it over the head of the second baseman, Burden, to dump it into right field. And now Renard has to worry about the running game. Hannon has stolen 14 bags this year. He's only been caught once. First pitch curveball swung on and missed by Piacentino. 0-1. A large lead at first for Hannon. Van Remortel holds him on. Renard at the belt. The 0-1 lined into left field. That's down for a base hit. Marty over. Hannon takes a hard turn again around second and holds in. It's a 2-out base knock for Johnny Piacentino. And all of a sudden, after Nolan Renard was cruising through the first 2 batters of this game, he's in a bit of trouble here, giving up back-to-back 2-out base knocks to set the table for the designated hitter, Bobby Marsh. Hannon has plenty of speed at second. Piacentino on at first. Here's Renard's first pitch to Marsh. It's a breaking ball over for a strike at the knees. 0-1. Big gap in left center field here for Marsh. Burden, the second baseman, out on the outfield grass in a shift. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch on the outer half of the plate, and it's 0-2. Renard has an escape hatch here, 1 strike away from retiring the side. Hannon dances off of second. Piacentino leads off of first. The 0-2, loop towards short. Jeffries makes a leaping catch to retire the side. He had that lined up perfectly. He timed it perfectly, and the ball found the webbing of the glove, and Nolan Renard escapes unscathed. 2 hits for the Nittany Lions, no runs, and 2 left. Michigan coming to bat, no score. Heading to the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Nolan Renard had a great inning there. It's never ideal to go against a little bit of adversity early on in the game, but he played it well. He got those outs, especially that 3rd out that they needed with a low little liner to the shortstop. Interesting to see how long his day will last, but he's had a great season so far. He has a career ERA of 4, and this season he's been sitting right around the 2 to 3 range. So it's impressive to see. He's really been a leader on this pitching staff for the Michigan Wolverines here. The outlook on the season looks good with him in rotation.
So a nice first inning from Renard. A quality beginning is important for him, making his first start of the year. Penn State counters with Jaden Henline, the 6'2", 170-pound lanky right-hander. He's 2-0 on the year with an ERA of 3.63. He's thrown 17 1/3 innings pitched, given up 17 hits, walked 7, and struck out 13. Allows the opposition to hit .254 against him. Run you through the Penn State defense behind Jaden Henline this afternoon. Left to right in the outfield is Kelly, Piacentino, and Gerlach. Norris mans the hot corner. It's Harry at short, Hannon at second, and Pitaro at first. Bramley and Henline the battery this afternoon.
Leading off of the bottom of the first inning for your Michigan Wolverines, the shortstop, number 12.
And we're seeing a little bit of a different lineup from the Wolverines today. No Tito Flores in. He got the rest today, so it'd be interesting to see how this lineup adds up into their run-scoring abilities.
No Flores. It's Jake Marty in Flores' usual 2-hole spot. Instead is Cody Jeffers, left-handed batter, digs into the right side of the box. Henline into the windup and deals a first-pitch fastball that's poured over for a strike at 89 miles an hour. Jeffers' bat is starting to come around this series. He's 4 for 9 across 2 games, including a 3-hit game on Friday, and he chops that one to the left side of the infield. Norris ranges over, and he fires to first in time for the first out of the bottom of the first. So a harmless chopper off the bat of Jeffers, and that'll bring up Jake Marty. Switch hitter batting left against the right-handed throwing Henline. Kicks the rubber and deals a fastball outside, 1-0. Marty hitting .333 on the year. He's 2 of 8 this series. 1-0 slash to third, hot shot, and it's gathered on the backhand by Norris, who fires across to first in time. So Grant Norris getting a lot of action through 2 batters, and so far he's handled the test deftly, 2 for 2, including a nice stop there. A hot shot off the bat of Marty, nothing to show for it as he trots back to the dugout, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Ted Burden. First pitch, it's inside on a fastball, 1-0. We've seen both starters touch 89 miles an hour this afternoon, some good velocity. Henline into the windup. The 1-0 is a breaking ball over for a strike, 1-1. Burden 4 for 7. He's driven in 5 runs over the first 2 games of this series. Here's the 1-1, chopped wide of third, foul, and it's 1-2. Norris was ready for another chance there. Henline a strike away from what would be a 1-2-3 opening frame. Here comes the 1-2, and Burden fouls that one straight back, a fastball, and we'll do that pitch again. Ted Burden, the senior, playing second base today. Started all 22 games for the Wolverines. He's been a steady hand, hitting .291, driven in 17 runs on the year. Has struck out 24 times. And Henline's ahead in the count here, 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball low, 2-2. Nice eye by Burden to lay off. And it's 2-2. No score between Michigan and Penn State, just getting going here in the bottom of the first. Wolverines eyeing a 3-game sweep as that one's in there. Strike 3 called, a fastball that dots the inside corner, and Burden goes down looking. No hits, no runs, none left. Heading to the top of the second, no score, Penn State and Michigan. So both starters have brought their A game early. Renard looked good in a scoreless first, dancing around a little 2-out trouble. And then Henline spins a 1-2-3 second. And that's imperative, or 1-2-3 bottom of the first rather, an imperative start for the Nittany Lions pitching staff that has really been bruised and battered this series, with Michigan's red-hot offense scoring over 10 runs now in 3 straight games.
Yeah, it was nice to see the Wolverines get aggressive early, swinging the bats early on in the game. That seems to be the theme this weekend for them, scoring runs, swinging the bat. Now we get to see defensive side of the ball. Keep that same game plan they've had all weekend. The consistency has been key for them this week. It seems defensive shutdowns have led to a lot of offensive runs.
Nolan Renard back to the rubber for his second inning of work. Worked around a couple of 2-out base knocks by Penn State to pitch a scoreless top of the first. Renard pitching to a 2.91 ERA on the season. His pitch count is something to watch this afternoon, considering he's making his first start and has been otherwise used as a reliever this season. Threw 15 pitches in that first inning.
It'd be interesting to see if they use him in this role throughout the season, kind of this change. It's a good way to see what you can do with him and his abilities as a starter versus a reliever role.
First pitch, fastball over for a strike, 0-1. And as you mentioned, Michigan is searching for pitching. So if Renard can emerge as a quality starter, in addition to being a Swiss Army knife of sorts out of the bullpen, that would go a long ways for Tracy Smith's club, as that pitch is fouled off down the right field side out of play. And Renard, just as he did in the first, is pouring in strikes. It's 0-2. Gerlach, right-handed hitter. Here's the 0-2, chop foul wide of third. And it stays 0-2. Gerlach hitting at a 290 clip this season. It's been a staple in the Penn State order. Here's the 0-2, chop to short. Jeffers charges, Voigt to his left, cuts him off, makes the throw on the run. He lost his hat in the process, but he's able to throw out Gerlach. A nice play by the freshman Mitch Voigt, showing his range there. Jeffers was playing back on the lip of the outfield grass against Gerlach. Not sure he would have thrown the speedy Gerlach out, but Voigt made it a moot point. First pitch to Norris, misses low and away on a curveball, 1-0. So Norris make a pair of nice plays at third in the first, and now Voigt returning the favor in the second. Here's the 1-0, high pop-up on the right side of the infield. Who's got it? Burden calls everyone off and makes the one-handed catch for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down to begin the second for Renard in the scoreless game between Michigan and Penn State. And that'll send C.J. Pacharo, the first baseman, hitting out of the 8-hole this afternoon, to the dish. Left-handed hitter, making his first start of the year. He's appeared in 6 games, has just 7 at-bats, but he does have 3 hits. Here's the first pitch, wastes no time, ropes it to second. Burden in the outfield grass, fields it on a hop, flips it over to first to retire the side. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Noah Renard. We're heading to the bottom of the second, no score. Wolverines and Nittany Lions. So Renard came out after throwing just 15 pitches in the first, threw even less in a very efficient second inning of work, aided by his defense. Nice play by Voigt at third, and then Burden handled that one. When you're on the shallow outfield as an infielder, you never know what sort of hop you're going to get, but he handled that one with ease.
Yeah, and it makes it a little bit easier here with our beautiful turf field that we have, but great 2 plays back-to-back by Burton to help retire the side. And going back to Renard, I mean, Denner was slated to start today. He's been their starter for a little while now, so it's an interesting play by Michigan, but as of right now, it's working out in their favor. I mean, up and down the batters go, and it's been doing very well for Michigan Wolverines and their side. Great move by Smith. I like the move. I see it as a future move that can really help them a lot in Big Ten play. It's a different look for the team. Teams aren't expecting it.
Connor O'Halloran has been Michigan's #1 starter, their Friday starter. He's had an excellent season and continued that dominance on Friday against Penn State. And then Chase Allen has been the dependable #2. And then Denner, as you mentioned, the usual 3. But today it's Renard, and it's a big opportunity for him to show what he has. Joe Longo, right-handed hitter, steps into the box. Henline at the belt and deals the first pitch of the bottom of the second. It misses low and away for ball 1. Longo 3 for 9 in this series. He's homered and driven in 4 runs. As the 1-0 comes in low, 2-0. It's just been a great season so far for Joe Longo. His red-hot bat now up to .351 on the season. Here's the 2-0. Clips the outside corner at the knees, and it's 2-1. Longo batting cleanup this afternoon and DHing. Flares that one foul down the right field side, and it's 2-2. Henline twirled an easy 1-2-3 first. Renard matched him in the second. Here's the 2-2 to Longo, chop toward third, foul. And we'll do that again. The 6th pitch of the at-bat upcoming between Henline and Longo. Joey Velasquez waits on deck. Gabe Sotrace in the hole. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield against Longo, the right-handed hitter. 2-2, chop to third, right at the bag. Norris has it, makes the running toss for the first out of the inning. So 3 of the 4 Michigan batters this afternoon have hit the ball to the hot corner, where Grant Norris has been up for the task. That'll bring up Joey Velasquez to the plate. Dual sport athlete, also a linebacker on the football team. His bat finally starting to come around. Left-handed hitter. First pitch swinging right back to the mound. It's knocked down by Henline. Underhand toss to first for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down for Henline, who has retired all 5 batters that he's faced this afternoon against a Michigan offense that came into the day white hot. Gabe Sotrace, the catcher, steps in. He takes a first pitch fastball at 90 miles an hour below the knees, 1-0. Sotrace hitting just .221 on the year. Right-handed hitter. Fouls the 1-0 right at the plate, 1-1. One coming to Sotrace. Fastball dots the outside corner. It's 1-2. Norris and Harry on the left side of the infield, all the way over towards the line. Norris hugging that line, and Harry way over as short. That one's chopped up the middle. Ranging to his right is Hannon. The running toss gets Sotrace by half a stride. Well, we mentioned there was that hole there, sort of up the middle, but Hannon covered it quickly. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jaden Henline. No score between Michigan and Penn State as we head to the top of the third.
Yeah, the Wolverines seem to be a little off on their timing here with Henline. He seems to be throwing in the high 80s, but with his breaking ball reaching low 70s or low to mid 70s, it's hard for them to adjust to that, and that seems to be catching them on a lot of these weak ground balls to the left side of the field. We'll see how they adjust in the upcoming innings.
Five groundouts and 6 batters induced by Henline. We've seen a lot of them go to third. Renard back for his 3rd inning of work. He's matched Henline with 2 scoreless frames. An emerging pitching duel here through 2 innings between these 2 stalwarts. It'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the Penn State batting order up here against Renard in the 3rd.
A little bit of a different look for Michigan defensively this year. Jake Marte, was predominantly their first baseman last season, and now he's out in the outfield and switched up his positioning a little bit, showing that he's truly that utility player. And he's been fitting the role well. The past weekend series, he's consistently recording outs in the outfield and doing his job out there. So it's a good move by Michigan. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the series.
Taven Kelly, Marty's counterpart, a left fielder, steps into the dish, right-handed hitter. Renard toes the rubber, kicks his leg, and deals. First pitch is fouled straight back, 0-1 to begin the 3rd. Renard's faced 8 batters this afternoon, retired 6 of them, gave up 2 two-out singles in the first, but was able to escape unscathed, inducing a line-out off the bat of Bobby Marsh. Here comes the 0-1 to Kelly, wave and a miss at a breaking ball. Was way out in front, and it's 0-2. Infield shaded up the middle. Burden standing on the outfield grass, as is Jeffers. Outfield medium depth for the number 9 hitter, Kelly. Here comes the 0-2. Wave and a miss. He struck him out. Went back to the off speed. And it's 3 pitches, and Kelly takes a seat.
Great breaking ball across the plate there. Dropped within matters of seconds. So fantastic pitch and caught him swinging.
Back to the top of the order for the Nittany Lions. Thomas Bramley, the catcher, led off the game by striking out on 3 pitches. First pitch from Renard is roped to first. Velasquez fields it. It's a race to the bag, and Velasquez wins the foot race for the second out of the inning. Or not Velasquez, rather. That's Van Remortel down at first, who made the play. So 2 up, 2 down. To begin the third, Renard is now retired 6 in a row. Jay Harry, the shortstop, into the box, flashes a bunt, pulls back, and takes a fastball high, 1-0. Harry, a .304 hitter, started all 19 games as short for Penn State this season. Here's the 1-0 inside. It trickles to the backstop off Sotrace's glove, 2-0. Harry flew out to left field in his first at-bat of the day in the first. Renard deals. Another sign of bunt, pulls it back and takes a strike. 2-1. Voigt is playing way back at third, even with the bag. And so Harry clearly thinking about a bunt here. Let's see if that changes now that he has a strike on him. The 2-1 lifted in the air to right, hit pretty well, but that's going to hook foul. 2-2. Renard deals the 2-2 to Harry, lifted to right center. Kim shading over on the run, makes the catch, moving to his left to retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Renard, who's retired the last 7 batters. No hits, no runs, none left. We head to the bottom of the third. No score between Michigan and Penn State here at Ray Fisher Stadium.
Bottom of the lineup is due up for Michigan with Remortel, Volt, and Kim. We'll see how that goes for them. They have faced this pitcher once before, each of them last season, so they know what's coming.
7, 8, 9 in the Michigan lineup will look to knock Jaden Henline out of his rhythm. 6 up, 6 down for Henline. He's induced 5 ground balls and then struck out Ted Burden looking. He's helped out from some nice plays by his defense, too. It's exactly the start that Penn State needed with the sizzling Michigan offense. The Wolverines scored just 1 run in the second game of a doubleheader against Bradley last Sunday, a loss. Then they scored 10 runs in a loss to Akron, and then followed that up with 12 and 13 the last 2 days against Penn State. But so far, Jaden Henline has had the upper hand, able to keep Michigan's sizzling offense at bay through 2 frames. It's a great crowd this afternoon at Ray Fisher. The bleachers mostly full. A lot of Penn State fans in attendance, a lot of families, some kids. Great day at the ballpark at Ray Fisher. A cool 49 degrees. We have the window cracked open in our booth here right behind home plate. So far, not too bad, temperature-wise. Jack Van Remortel steps into the box, right-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher Jaden Henline, who deals a first pitch fastball over for a strike. So Henline has had total control of the strike zone so far this afternoon through 2 frames. Van Remortel, 239 hitter, and he's hit by the pitch. So right on cue, the announcer's jinx rears its head after I praise Henline for his total command of the strike zone. He comes up and in to Van Remortel and hits him with a fastball. That's just kind of how these things go, the power of the headset. So Michigan has its first base runner of the day to lead off the bottom of the third. Mitch Voigt, the freshman, steps in. First pitch swinging, lifts it to right. And that's going to get down and one hop the wall. Digging for third is Van Remortel. He's going to be held there. Voigt pulls in at second with the double. As Gerlach dug that out of the corner relatively quickly. And Van Remortel chugging to third was held there.
Volt is having a great freshman season. He's been a very key player in the bottom of this lineup for the Wolverines all year long.
So now a prime opportunity for Jonathan Kim. Left-handed hitter, he's been red hot, 5 of 9 this series. He's driven in 5 runs, raising his average to .417 out of the 9-hole. Corners pinched in against Kim. First pitch from Henline is fouled straight back. 0-1. Van Remortel doesn't have a lot of speed on at third. Voigt does. He's the back runner at second. Outfield not too deep straight away. Corners pinched in against the left-handed hitting Kim. Michigan threatening for the first run of the game. Here's the 0-1 from Henline. Chopped to short. Van Remortel's coming home. Harry has to go to first with it. Gets Kim by half a stride. But it's a productive out as Van Remortel comes home with the game's first run. And it's 1-0 Michigan in the bottom of the third. So the Wolverines able to crack Jaden Henline here in the third. The hit-by pitch to lead off the inning, and then Mitch Voigt slicing a double, tucking it into the right field corner. And then Kim with the RBI ground out to drive home a run. Michigan still looking for more. Jeffrey steps to the plate, takes a first pitch curveball low, 1-0.
There's a smart play by Voigt there to leave a base runner in scoring position going back to second on that ground ball just to his right.
Harry, the shortstop, shadowing Voigt. There's a medium depth lead off of second. Jeffrey slices it into left center. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's a high hop for Piacentino. Here comes Voigt that throws up the line, and Voigt will score, making it 2-0 Wolverines. The throw from Piacentino was well up the line after he fielded that ball on the high hop off this turf. Jeffrey's able to dump it into left center, driving in Voigt, and just like that, Michigan, after its first 6 hitters of the game were retired, jumps on Jaden Henline for a 2-0 lead. Jake Marty into the box now, a big lead for Jeffries off of first. And Henline throws over right on cue. Jeffries back in safely. Jeffries 6 of 6 on stolen base tries this year. First pitch to Marty, chopped to second. Hannon flips to short for 1. Harry's return is in time, a double play. Marty thought he beat it out, but first base umpire Thomas Burrell Jr. said no. It's a 4-6-3 double play to end the frame. 2 hits, 2 runs, none left, and the Wolverines take a 2-0 lead as we head to the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Tracy Smith has some glares for the home plate umpire there, and a couple looks over. I thought he beat it out by a step. It looked very close, one of those bang-bang plays. So it happened to fall not in the favor of the Wolverines, but for Penn State. But now we get to see our defensive stands even better.
And Marty has a lot of speed. Got down that line in a hurry, but just not fast enough. 2-0 Michigan, though. The Wolverines finally able to crack Jaden Henline. The big double from Voigt to set everything up. And then Jeffries driving in the run, the second run after Kim's ground out, brought home Van Remortel. So Noah Bernard now staked with a 2-0 lead. He's twirled 3 shutout innings so far this afternoon. Back on the mound for his 4th inning of work. He's thrown just 31 pitches, has kept that pitch count low. It's his first start of the year, so we were wondering at the beginning of the broadcast how long his leash would be. He threw 37 pitches last Sunday against Bradley and 34 last Friday, operating as a reliever, but he's also gotten a full week's worth of rest, so you have to imagine that that arm is pretty fresh, and it looks lively this afternoon. Kyle Hannon, the second baseman who started that 4-6-3 double play, steps into the box here. The 3-hitter taps the first pitch up the first base side, foul. It trickles towards the Penn State dugout. 0-1. Hannon, a speedy player, hitting .310 after a single in the first. Here comes the 0-1 from Renard. It's dumped towards left center. Marty coming on, and he makes the running catch. That hung up there just enough to make it easy for Jake Marty, who was playing shallow and got a great read on it.
Yeah, fantastic jump on that little short pop fly. I thought he was going to be down for a single, but Marty's speed caught up to it.
Piacentino now into the box, the center fielder batting fourth. First pitch from Renard is a breaking ball that sits just above the letters, 1-0. Piacentino ripped a base hit into left field back in the first, and was stranded in Penn State's best scoring opportunity of the afternoon so far. The 1-0 is low, ball 2. Renard hasn't gotten behind many hitters today. He's been efficient with his pitch count at 35 pitches and counting. Here's the 2-0, right back up the middle. Jeffers ranging to his left on the outfield grass, slings it to first. In time, he got him. Jeffers had just enough on that throw to nab Piacentino at first for the second out of the inning.
Great play by Jeffries and great stretch by Van Remordo. That wouldn't have been an out without his abilities.
6-3 in your scorebooks. A nice play on both ends. And Renard has now retired the last 9 batters to face him. Here's Marsh, first pitch swinging, lifts a high pop-up to center. Kim eases back, moves towards his left, a few strides in front of the track, makes the catch. It's an easy-peasy 1-2-3 inning for Noah Renard, who has now set down the last 10 Penn State batters to face him with 3 straight 1-2-3 frames. No score, 2-0 Michigan on top over Penn State. The Nittany Lions still yet to crack the scoreboard, and Renard has just been efficient, dominant, and collected so far this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been one of the most effective pitchers out of Michigan's rotation that I've seen in a while. He kind of reminds me a little bit of from a reliever start. His last appearance with the 8 outs through 10 batters, it was a great appearance, and he's shown it today that he can fill that starter role that Michigan deeply needs in their rotation right now.
And Jaden Henline for Penn State was matching Renard through the first 2 innings, going 6 up, 6 down, but he finally wilted in the third. Wolverines got to him with 3 base runners, a double, a single, and hit by pitch to score 2 runs. And Henline will look to settle down here in the bottom of the 4th and keep this a manageable deficit, which the Nittany Lions haven't been able to do in the first 2 games of the series when those scores really got out of hand quickly.
Yeah, which is odd because out of the conference play, they've been great all season at that 12-7 record. They've only let up around 7 average runs per the other team, so it's weird to see this off weekend, but the Wolverines are definitely enjoying it.
Ted Burden, right-handed hitter, batting in the 3-hole, ready for his second at-bat. First pitch from Henline is chopped foul at the plate. 0-1. Burden whacking that one off his foot. Burden struck out looking back in the first, the only strikeout of the day for Jaden Henline. A lot of contact on both sides this afternoon. Renard has struck out just 2. The 0-1 clips the inside corner on a fastball, and it's quickly 0-2. Very similar pitch to the one that Burden went down looking on back in the first. 3 infielders on the left side against Burden. Here's Henline's 0-2. He shoots it to first. Pitaro fields it and steps on the bag for the first out of the inning. Only 1 infielder on that right side in Pitaro, but he was right in the right place, positioned perfectly to get the out.
Yeah, interesting play here. They're keeping the shift around for Longo as well. So we'll see how that plays out. I know he can usually pop it over to the right side of the field, but has that tendency to pull everything left.
First pitch from Henline is over for a strike. A fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Hannon, the second baseman, is well to the other side of the second base bag over on the left side of the infield by about 10 feet. The 0-1 to Longo, wave and a miss at a fastball on the inner half, and it's 0-2. So Henline back in his groove here to begin the bottom of the 4th. Comes the 0-2 to Longo, hammered towards left center. That's down for a base hit. It falls in front of Kelly, A one-out base knock for Joe Longo, who takes a wide turn and holds on at first with his 4th hit of the series. Henline allows his 4th base runner of the afternoon. It's a one-out base knock for Joe Longo to bring up Joey Velasquez to the plate with 1 out and 1 on at first. Michigan up 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Henline looks in and deals. That's on the inside corner, a fastball, 0-1. Velasquez only saw 1 pitch in his first at-bat, chopped it right back to Henline, who was able to knock it down and flip it underhand to first for the out. Longo held on at first. Here's the 0-1. Dips inside, 1-1. Harry, the shortstop, is about 2 feet to the right of the second base bag against Velasquez, playing up the middle. So a big hole on the left side of the infield if he wants it. Here's the 1-1. There goes Longo. The throw down is going to be in time. They'll say that the throw, or the tag rather, pushed Longo off the bag. He overslid the bag because the second base umpire, Jeff Day, was about to call Longo safe. And then Jay Harry kept the tag on, and Longo slid off the bag, and he has no argument. Here's the 2-1. Fastball up and away, 3-1. So Longo runs himself into an out there. Strong throw from Bramley. Here's the 3-1 to Velasquez. Lifted foul on the left field side as it slices into the bullpen. 3-2.
Interesting to see Longo go there for it. I don't know what the mindset was there, but up by 2, I guess you can take some risk, calculated risk like that.
He's yet to steal a base on the season, now 0-2. Here's the 3-2 to Velasquez, shot to short. Harry on the backhand makes a long throw on 2 hops, and he got Velasquez as it's dug out nicely by Pitaro. So Michigan runs itself out of the inning there. 1 hit, none left, no runs. Still 2-0 Wolverines as we head to the top of the 5th from Ray Fisher Stadium. And Noah Renard back out for more here. He's kept that low pitch count at just 37 pitches this afternoon. He hasn't gone more than 4 innings this year. Back on March 4th against Texas Tech, through 4 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 5. But other than that, hasn't gotten more than 10 outs. He's already gotten 12 this afternoon, and he'll be asked for at least a couple more here in the top of the 5th, and why not? He's dealing.
Yeah, despite the score, both of these pitchers have been quite effective pitch count-wise. Renard, I mean, he's really putting on a show. He's trying to earn that starter role, so might as well keep him going if don't change what's working for the Michigan Wolverines.
He's pitched 4 innings, allowed 2 hits, relatively soft contact, and struck out 2. He's had control of the strike zone, and he's retired the last 10 Penn State hitters to face him. He's been in a groove, and why disrupt it? If you're Tracy Smith, you've been looking for more consistent arms, more reliable pitching besides your top few guns, and here's Noah Renard stepping right up to the plate and delivering this afternoon as the Wolverines look for a 3-game sweep to kick off Big Ten play. And the Big Ten's wide open. Michigan had a rocky non-conference slate, which is expected with a new coach and so many new faces and playing stiff level of competition. But here's Michigan against Penn State, who entered Big Ten slate at 12-5. And so far, the Wolverines are really manhandling the Nittany Lions through 2+ games. Billy Gerlach out of the 6th hole. The right fielder steps in to lead off the top of the 5th against Noah Renard, who's going into a territory he hasn't yet this season, and gets the first pitch breaking ball over for a strike. He's making his first start of the year. 9 other relief appearances as that 0-1 is chopped foul up the third base side, 0-2. He's yet to throw more than 4 innings this season until today, but he's thrown as many as 65 pitches in an outing this year, and he's only at 39 through 4+ this afternoon, just mowing down Penn State hitters. Here's the 0-2 breaking ball chopped to third. Voigt fields and fires across the diamond in time for the first out of the 5th.
Great play. Renard's getting the ground balls that this team needs to accelerate, so might as well keep him in, keep him going. He's only at 40 for the pitch count. His off speed has been fantastic today. It's really confusing these Penn State hitters, so might as well keep him on the bump.
Grant Norris popped up to second in his lone at-bat of the afternoon. Right-hander steps in and chops it to short. Jeffries in a few strides, fields on the run, throws on the run for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down to begin the 5th for Noah Renard, who's retired 12 straight and showing no signs of letting up. C.J. Pacharo, the first baseman, drawing his first start of the year into the box. Left-handed hitter, grounded out to second. Back in the second. Takes the first pitch fastball that dots the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Renard's ERA down to 2.39 at the moment. Here's the 0-1. Lifted pretty well towards right center, chasing Kim back. He has it lined up right at the edge of the track, makes the catch. A can of corn off the bat of Pacharo. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Noah Renard. His 4th straight 1-2-3 frame, and he's now retired the last 13 batters to face him, and 15 of the 17 Penn State players who've stepped into the box against him this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think it's too early to say this is Renard is leading Michigan to their best pitching performance of the season. This is fantastic, the way they just keep lining up and coming down. It's one of those things that coaches pray and wish for here, that the Wolverines are putting on a display.
And this game, thanks to the solid pitching really on both sides, because Jaden Henline has been fantastic besides a little speed bump in that 3rd inning. The pace of the game is flying by. It's 146. And we're about to kick off play in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I haven't seen this pace out of a college D1 level in a while, let alone anywhere close to the professional level. So it's moving along right along. It'd be interesting to see once, if they have pitcher change-ups, how that pace is going to adjust and how that helps or hurts the hitters.
A little prelude perhaps for the pitch clock baseball that is coming our way, with MLB opening day set for Thursday, just a few days from now. Jaden Henline back on the mound for his 5th inning of work here at Ray Fisher Stadium. It's a beautiful day for baseball on March 26th in Ann Arbor. Blue skies, a few clouds, 49 degrees, a cool breeze, and the Wolverines up 2-0 as they eye a sweep to begin Big Ten play. So Trace into the box. First pitch from Henline is a breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1. So Trace grounded out to second on a nice play by Kyle Hannon as he comes up empty on that off-speed pitch. 0-2. Went down to try and get it and whiffed. Henline, who's working at a nice pace, delivers the 0-2 to Sotrace. Chased another one and able to foul off that breaking ball. Got a piece of it to send it back to the backstop, and it stays 0-2. Sotrace, the Michigan State transfer, batting .217 on the year. He's played in 22 games, drawn 19 starts for Michigan. 0-2 from Henline, chopped to third, foul. We'll have a 5th pitch of the at-bat upcoming as Sotrace stays alive.
That's one of the things all season he's been doing, is this kind of fighting at-bats to keep his average above 200 and stay alive.
Henline's 0-2, fastball just missed, up and away. It's 1-2.
Close take there for Sotrace, down 0-2, but it worked out in his favor.
Sotrace has struck out 17 times this season. Here's the 1-2, pulled foul on the third base side. He continues to fight his way in this at-bat. It'll be a 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming from Jaden Henline to Gabe Sotrace. 2-0 Wolverines in the bottom of the 5th. Van Remortel on deck and Voigt to follow. Here's the 1-2 to Sotrace, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. 4 foul balls now in the at-bat for Gabe Sotrace.
So much for talking about pitch count. Sotrace is changing that narrative by himself.
Second baseman Harry shaded right behind the bag as Sotrace lays off a curveball low and away, and it's 2-2. Medium depth in the outfield straight away. The 0-2, Sotrace bounces it towards third. A nice easy hop for Norris, backhands and makes the long throw across the diamond for the first out of the inning.
Norris is getting his money's worth over today in the hot corner. He's been a sight that many Wolverines have been fearful of, hitting it right down the line towards him.
4 5 threes in your scorecard this afternoon, induced by Jaden Henline. And the sure-handed Norris at third, making them all look rather easy. Jack Van Remortel steps in. He got Michigan's rally started in the third as he takes a first pitch fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Van Remortel was hit by a pitch leading off the third and came around to score on a ground out by Kim, one of 2 Michigan runs in the inning and one of 2 in the game. The 0-1 misses low and away on an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. 3 infielders on the left side against Van Remortel, the right-handed hitter. Here's the 1-1, fouled off down the right field side and into the parking lot, 1-2. Mitch Voigt looms on deck, Kim behind him if anyone is to reach this inning. Jaden Henline in his 5th inning of work. Here's the 1-2, Van Remortel chops it foul at the plate, stays 1-2. Van Remortel, the senior first baseman, hitting at a .239 clip. He's drawn 15 starts on the year, 1 of 3 in this series so far, with a run scored. There's the 1-2, swing and a miss. He chased a pitch below the belt, comes up empty, and it's a strikeout for Henline, his 2nd of the day. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th. Mitch Voigt coming to bat.
Yeah, Voigt's been that standout freshman all season. Let's see if he can continue that run through this game and help the Michigan Wolverines get some base runners back in scoring position.
First pitch from Henline, misses low, 1-0. Voigt now hitting after a .297 clip. After his double in the 3rd inning, he sliced it down the right field side, just out of the reach of Gerlach. Here comes the 1-0, low and away, ball 2. More breaking balls this inning than fastballs for Henline, switching up his diet of pitches a little bit here in his 2nd time through the order. The 2-0 to Voigt, fastball just missed the outside corner, ball 3. Kim stands on deck. 3 infielders on the left side against Mitch Voigt, the right-handed hitter. Here comes Henline's 3-0, Voigt taking all the way. And it's a strike right down the middle on a fastball at 88 miles an hour, 3-1. Henline deals the 3-1 to Voigt up the left side. Moving to his left is Norris on the run, makes the throw to retire the side. Another 5-3 for you folks, but it's a 1-2-3 frame for Jaden Henline. 2-0 Wolverines as this pitching duel rides along, heading to the 6th.
Yeah, we'll see if Penn State elects to keep Henline in for the next inning. He's been doing well. He just had that one little speed bump in the 3rd inning. Sotrace kind of upped his pitch count in that past bottom half. We'll see what Penn State elects to do. I know their relief pitching has struggled this weekend, so if they have something that's working, they might as well just keep it in rotation. Bernard back on the bump here. It's a good choice by Michigan. He's rolling through this lineup. Don't take him out while he's hot here. Doesn't look like any other defensive adjustments. Why change anything that's just been working for them today? And they got to protect this 2-run lead here, getting into a very fast-paced moving game of just pitching duels.
Two nothing Wolverines on top here from Ray Fisher. Michigan looking to win its 3rd game in a row and start Big Ten play on an incredibly high note with a 3-game sweep of the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, outlook for this weekend wasn't too hot from outside reporters, but they've kind of shocked the world here, and they haven't swept a series in the past 4 years in their opening weekend, so it would be a good win and a good momentum for this team that kind of was struggling in some out-of-conference play here and there.
So Noah Renard back out for more in the top of the sixth, making his first start of the year. He's twirled 5 brilliant scoreless innings, retiring the last 13 batters to face him and 15 of the last 17. He's staked to a 2-0 lead here as we begin play in the top of the sixth. Renard kicks and deals a first pitch breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1.
Great frame by Sotres there to get that strike called.
Taven Kelly out of the 9-hole, the right-hand hitter, rips it into left field for a base hit. And so Renard's stretch of brilliance broken there. He had retired the last 13 hitters to face him and 15 of the first 17 to begin the game. And now Penn State gets a leadoff base runner on in Kelly to flip things over to the top of the order. And again, it's worth mentioning that this is territory Renard has never been in, pitching in the 6th inning. After pitching the first 5, he's pitched in the 6th, but merely out of relief. He's thrown as many as 65 pitches this season, and his pitch count only at 45 now, as that one's lifted towards left center. Marty and Kim over in the gap. Marty on the run, can't make the catch. It caroms up against the wall. Kelly's flying around third. The relay throw to the plate from Burden's done in time. Kelly in with the slide. It's an RBI double off the bat of Thomas Bramley that chased Marty all the way back to the track. He couldn't make the running catch. And just like that, the Nittany Lions on the board. They tag Renard. 2 batters into the 6th. It's 2-1, and now with the big batters coming up, Penn State threatening for more. Bramley on at second with nobody out.
Yeah, Renard just needs to stay calm in this situation. No harm. You're still up in the game. You got 1 runner. Just take control like you have been all game.
Harry, the batter, left-handed hitter, takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1. He's 0 for 2 on the day, flown out to left and flown out to center. This is the first time that Renard is cracked this afternoon. Bramley leads off of second. Jeffrey shadows him. That one's lined to center. Kim has it lined up perfectly, and he naps it for the first out of the inning. So a big out there for Renard, who looks to settle back in and leave this inning with a lead. It's 2-1 Michigan, 1 away, top of the 6th. Bramley at second after his RBI double scored Kelly all the way from first. Kyle Hannon, 1 for 2 this afternoon at the dish. First pitch swing, chops it up the first base side. It'll stay fair. And Van Remortel taps the bag for the second out of the inning. Nice job there by Van Remortel to get to the ball before it hit the bag. Made the play a lot easier than risk it hitting the bag and then having to field it. Bramley danced down to third. So runner at third with 2 away. Bramley representing the tying run here in the 6th as Piacentino steps to the plate. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Singled back in the first. First pitch from Renard. Breaking ball missed inside, 1-0. Piacentino, right-handed hitter, bats at a 304 clip. Bramley leads off of third. Here comes the 1-0. Slashed foul down the right field side. It's out of play. 1-1. Renard now 51 pitches deep into his outing. You have to wonder if this might be it for him, this frame, and he'd love to escape with the lead still intact. Here comes the 1-1, up and in. It buzzed Piacentino, sent him flying back. A little chin music to make it 2-1. Infielders way back against Piacentino, who takes a 2-1 breaking ball up and in, ball 3. So Renard unable to locate that inside breaking ball right now after he went back to the well following the chin music. 3-1 the count to Piacentino. Renard clenching a 2-1 lead. Here's the pitch way upstairs. Sotres out of his crouch to grab it, and it's ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Piacentino will bring Marsh to the plate. Bramley still on at third as the potential tying run, and now Piacentino, the potential go-ahead run here in the 6th, on at first.
Yeah, Denner's over in the bullpen. We're going to get a mound visit here. We'll see if it's just to calm him down or if it's to make a little change here. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Renard was in such a groove, retiring the last 13 batters to face him before this inning. And it looks like his day is going to be done. So Noah Renard, the book not yet closed. He's responsible for the runners on third and first here with 2 away in the 6th. But his day is over. 54 pitches, 5 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, walked 1 and struck out 2, and as it stands now, gave up 1 run. A brilliant afternoon for Renard. Made his first start of the season after 9 prior appearances in relief, and he delivered everything that Tracy Smith could have asked for.
Yeah, and Wolverines look like they're flip-flopping rotations from what we've expected today. Denner is coming in relief. He's a senior left-hand pitcher from New Jersey. He's been in all Big Ten. ERA hasn't been where he's wanted it to be, but it's definitely coming down this season, so we'll see how him in a relief form will work out for the Wolverines, and hopefully he can keep Renard's ERA down here and leave that runner stranded at third.
6-foot left-hander Jacob Denner into the game here as he looks to bail out Renard. He'll face Bobby Marsh, the left-hander, left-handed hitter. Marsh went 0 for 2 against Renard, flew out twice. Marsh came to bat with 2 on in the first, lined out to Jeffers. He'll have another chance here if Penn State opts to keep him in. Could opt for a right-handed hitter against a left-handed Denner. It looks like they might do exactly that. Josh Spiegel has a bat in his hands.
Yeah, and smart play to bring in the left-handed pitcher here. It's going to deter that runner on first from going. I know there is 2 down, but you never know what Penn State might have up their sleeve to try to tie this game.
And so Spiegel will indeed pinch hit for Marsh here in the 6th. 2-1 Michigan on top. Runners on the corners with 2 away. Denner relieves Renard. First pitch, cuts low and in, ball 1. Denner with a bit of a funky delivery, the left-hander. Senior on this team. Bramley leads off third, Piacentino off first. The 1-0 fouled off down the right field side, and it's 1-1. Spiegel, a .262 hitter, has 11 base knocks on the year. Here's the 1-1. Low, smothered by Showtrace, and it's 2-1. A base knock here would tie the game. Michigan clenching a 2-1 lead in the 6th. Comes the 2-1 on the inside corner at 81 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Denner a strike away from bailing out Renard here in the 6th. Denner gathers at the belt and deals. The 2-2 dips low and in, ball 3. If Spiegel is to reach, Gerlach, a right-handed hitter, is on deck. Three and two away. Runners lead off third and first. Michigan up 2-1. Here's the pitch from Denner. Fouled wide of third, and we'll do it again. Spiegel back into the box. Denner standing off the rubber. He looks on for the sign. Now toes the rubber. Bramley leads off third. Piacentino off of first. The 3-2 coming to Spiegel. Got him! Strike three called on the inside corner. He painted it with a fastball, and Spiegel goes down looking. Denner does his job to close the book on Renard. And it's still 2-1 Wolverines as we head to the bottom of the sixth.
Fantastic job there by Denner to get out of that inning. I know it was a close call on that inside corner against Spiegel, but you just got to come in, and that's where the experience as a starter for Denner comes in. He wasn't nervous in that situation. He knew how to control it and take charge.
Jacob Denner also unfazed when he fell behind 3-1. He's able to come back and retire Spiegel, equally unfazed by the pinch hitter. Came into the game to face the left-hander Marsh. Penn State countered with the right-hand hitting Spiegel, and Denner wins anyhow. So we head to the bottom of the sixth with Michigan up 2-1. Wolverines lead cut in half that inning with Bramley's RBI double driving Kelly. Renard, who was so solid, was chased a few batters later, but Denner able to bail him out. Jaden Henline still dealing for Penn State. He's given up 2 runs on 3 hits this afternoon. A bumpy third inning, but otherwise he's been excellent, allowing just 3 total base runners. So it'll be 9-1-2 in the Michigan order against Henline here. Kim, Jeffries, and Marty. So a lot of speed there for the Wolverines, looking to set the table and add a little more to what is currently a slim 1-run lead.
Yeah, we'll see how long Henline lasts here. They do have 2 guys out in the bullpen right now, so I'm assuming at the first sign of trouble, his day may be over.
2-1 Michigan. We're already in the bottom of the sixth as this game continues to fly by. First pitch was 1:01 this afternoon. Jonathan Kim, left-handed hitter, digs in. Henline standing on the mound at 6'2". We're ready to resume action in the bottom of the sixth. Wolverines up on Penn State 2-1. Kim 0 for 1 this afternoon. Takes the first pitch fastball up and away, 1-0. He grounded out in the second with men on the second and third, and Van Remordo was able to come home and score the first run of the game. That 1-0 catches the outside corner, 1-1. Kim hitting .405 on the year. He's got 5 hits this series, driven in now 4 runs. Here's the 1-0. Fouled off his foot, and it trickles into fair territory. 1-2. A foul ball, says home plate umpire David Condon. Outfield shaded a bit towards left against Kim. Not deep at all. Infield straight up. Here comes the 1-2. Low and away. 2-2. Blocked by Bramley. Kim looking to get on base here ahead of the top of the order here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the 2-2. Dips outside on an off speed, and the count's gone full to Kim to open the inning. Kim has only walked once this season. Looking for a second walk here. Here's the 3-2. On the outside corner on a fastball. Strike 3 called. Kim thought he had that elusive second walk, but Condon punches him out as Henline paints the outside corner for the first out of the inning. So back to the top of the order, third time through against Jaden Henline. It'll be Cody Jeffress, the shortstop, to lead off. He's been a stalwart atop the order as he takes the first pitch, breaking ball low, 1-0. Started all 22 games at shortstop and in the leadoff hole. Transfer from San Diego. Takes the 1-0 low. It skips in 2-0. Jeffries 1 for 2 on the day. He drove in a run in the third with a single to left center. He's had himself a nice series with 5 hits. Chops that one back up the middle. Harry ranges to his left, makes the long throw, and nails Jeffries by half a stride. Not an easy play there with Harry ranging far to his left and then slinging it on the run, but these Penn State infielders have made a lot look very routine this afternoon.
They have. Henline showing why his coach put him back on the bump and has the trust in him. He's going to their play calling and getting those ground ball outs that they need.
Jake Marty steps in, 2 up, 2 down to begin the 6th for Henline. First pitch over for a strike, a curveball, 0-1. Marty hitting .314 on the year. He's 0-2 this afternoon. Grounded out twice, including into a double play. Chops that one to second. Hannon has it lined up, flips it over to first in time. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jaden Henline. We're through 6 in Ann Arbor. Michigan still up 2-1.
Looks like Denner's coming back out to try to regain order here, try to strike outside, take after Renner's kind of lead and go this 1-2-3, keep this pace. He doesn't want to change up the pace too much because I know Penn State usually likes to play at this slower level. As you can see from this entire past weekend, when Michigan sped the level up, they just could not keep up. So keep this pace at a fast pace with this pitching up and down.
Well, Denner is also working on a full week's worth of rest. Last pitched on Sunday against Bradley. Across 4 innings, scattered 5 hits and gave up 2 runs, walking 1 and striking out 2. Earned the loss in that second game of the doubleheader. He's 0-4 on the year, hasn't pitched particularly great, entering play with a 5.40 ERA. And Tracy Smith switching things up a little bit, this time bringing Denner in relief of Renard. So far, Renard held up his end of the bargain, and Denner got a king-sized out to close a threat in the 6th. Let's see if he can continue twirling here as we begin the 7th. We've played 6 innings here of baseball at Ray Fisher in a very fast pace because this has been a pitcher's duel between Noah Renard and Jaden Henline, but now it's Jacob Denner's turn. He bailed out Renard with a king-size strikeout to end the 6th. Now he's back for more in the 7th. The southpaw will begin the top of the 7th, his first full inning of work against Bobby Gerlach, right-handed hitter. Steps into the box with Penn State down 2-1 and goes after the first pitch and skies it foul down the right field side, 0-1. Denner, much like Renard, is working on a full week's worth of rest. So there should be no limitations on him pitch-wise. Here's the 1-0 at the knees, an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. Gerlach leading off, then Norris and Pizarro to follow, 6, 7, and 8 in the Penn State batting order. Denner ahead, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Misses just low at 82 miles an hour. And it's 1-2. Outfield straight up, not too deep. Burden is playing well out on the right field grass. Jeffries on the lip of the grass at short. Here's the 1-2 to Gerlach, low and in, 2-2. Gerlach 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He's chopped out to third twice, and he goes down swinging there. Denner has faced 2 batters, and he's 1 away to begin the 7th.
Yeah, Denner's pitch rotation has been nice. His last couple batters faced, he hasn't relied too much on the off-speed pitches. A lot of fastball strikeouts here, which has been very nice for him to see because he's usually been leaning on the off-speed as his safety support.
Grant Norris at the dish for Penn State, 3-14 hitter, takes the first pitch over for a strike, 0-1. Norris 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He's popped out to second and grounded out to short. The 0-1 on the outside corner, 0-2. Norris has had a busy day in the field manning the hot corner. He's made a few splendid plays. Looking for that success in the field to translate to the dish. Denner dealing. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled off down the right field side, over the stands and into the parking lot, out of play. Pitaro looms on deck. One away in the top of the 7th. Michigan up 2-1. Here's the 0-2. Wave and a miss. He struck him out. Jacob Jenner. 3 batters faced, 3 strikeouts as he continues to deal in relief of Renard.
If this keeps up, the Wolverines are going to love this rotation going back and forth, giving these guys a little bit of rest and then just being a power duo here.
And now Denner gets to face a left-handed hitter for the first time this afternoon as C.J. Pitaro steps in. Denner deals. First pitch catches the outside corner at 80 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. So Denner continues to throw strikes here in his first full inning of work. Here in the 7th. Is the 0-1 cut on and missed. 0-2. Went after a pitch on the outer half of the plate and came up empty. And Jacob Jenner is a strike away from striking out the side. He's faced 3 batters. He struck them all out. Pitaro trying to avoid becoming the next victim. Denner at the belt. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Chopped up to first and a foul ball as Van Remortel watches it go. It stays 0-2. Pitaro hitting .333 on the year. 3 hits and 9 at-bats. Seldom played first baseman drew the start this afternoon. Denner ahead on him 0-2. Here's the pitch. Chopped back to the mound. Denner grabs it. He'll toss it over to first. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Denner, who continues to dominate in relief. It's time to stretch at Ray Fisher. Michigan up 2-1.
Denner did a great job there keeping that pace, just keeping those batters on their toes. So we'll see if Henline comes back out, or if not, I cannot tell yet, but it looks like the bullpen is still active, so Henline should be back on the bump. But this pace of this game is a lot different than we've seen in the first 2 games. It was a lot of offense, but they were slow-paced games. Some innings took upwards of 30 minutes, so definitely a different look for both these teams today, and they're adjusting on the fly.
Well, Michigan used an offensive onslaught to win the first 2 games, and a completely different tale this afternoon. It's a pitcher's duel, and the Wolverines are winning 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th at Ray Fisher. The crowd on its feet, the organ plays, it's time to stretch, as the Wolverines are 6 outs away from completing a 3-game sweep to open up Big Ten play.
Henline's looking like he's having some trouble here, maybe a hand, a cut or something. Something's up with his glove, but the reliever came out of the bullpen to come check out what's up.
Conversing with the catcher, a home plate umpire, and what looks to be a trainer. And it looks like Henline's day is done as he looks toward that right hand. So Henline's brilliant afternoon has come to what appears to be a premature close. So he'll be relieved here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and he's going to be relieved by right-handed pitcher Stephen Miller. He has been one of their rocks this season in relieving. Not the greatest ERA career-wise, this year-wise, but he's definitely come in. He has a fastball that if you get it up and away, you are not catching up to it. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for this hitting side of the Wolverines.
Miller, a veteran presence on the mound, 5th-year senior from Pittsburgh. So the book is closed on Jaden Henline, who matched Noah Renard, step for step, blow for blow. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, struck out 3, faced 20 batters, got 13 ground outs, 72 total pitches, 49 of them were in for strikes. Was really brilliant, except that 4-batter span in the 3rd where he hit Van Remortel, gave up a double to Voigt, Kim's ground out scored a run, and Jeffress tacked on the 2nd with a single to left center. And that's why we stand 2-1 Michigan at the moment. Michigan with the 2 spot in the 3rd. Penn State scored its lone run of the game in the 6th against Renard when Kelly led off with a single to left, and Bramley chased Marty all the way back to the track, and he couldn't grab the ball. That led to an RBI double. But Renard and Denner, who came in relief, were able to work their way out of the jam to preserve a 2-1 lead. So Ted Burden will lead off against the new pitcher, Miller. Burden, right-handed hitter. Miller, right-handed thrower. Deals a first pitch fastball away at 92 miles an hour. 1-0. So Miller throws a little bit harder than Henline does. And that second pitch breaking ball misses. 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 to Burden. High pop-up. Shallow center. Who's going to grab it? 4 Penn State players are there, and a diving catch by Harry to bail everyone out.
There was a very large lack of communication there. You had 5 players all going for the same ball, and Harry just took the leap of faith literally into making that play. So good for Harry, but would have liked to see that down for the Wolverines.
Piacentino was coming in from center, Gerlach in from right, and Hannon out from second. And the one person who was least likely to catch that, Harry, came all the way over from short to make a sparkling play. First pitch to Longo was fouled straight back, 0-1. A big-time momentum swing there, because if that lands, Burden's likely at second base with nobody out. Miller's 0-1 tails outside, 1-1.
Yeah, also a hard part of the order for Miller to come on to, our 3-4-5, so.
That's tapped to third, and it goes foul. An emphatic call there by third base umpire Wilson Rayner. 1-2, Longo in a hole against Miller, who throws hard but not particularly well with a 5.62 ERA on the season. Certainly has the stuff. 3 infielders on the left side against Longo, who goes down swinging. He chased a breaking ball low and away. 2 up, 2 down to begin Miller's day in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Miller's a different look for this Wolverines offensively. I mean, he throws his fastball topped out there at 91 miles per hour. I believe Headlines only reached into the mid-80s, so definitely an adjustment for these hitters. He's going to be standing in the back of the box.
Joey Velasquez at the dish, fouls the first pitch straight back, 0-1. Left-handed hitters 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of ground outs. Miller at the belt, kicks and deals. Velasquez shoots it foul over the Michigan dugout, and it caroms off the netting. 0-2. Big power hitter Joey Velasquez. Only 1 home run this year, but had 5 last year, including a late season spurt in postseason play, and he ropes that one toward right field, hooking foul. It stays 0-2. Miller kicks and deals. The 0-2 to Velasquez, fouled off down the left field side. So Velasquez stays alive against Miller, and will do it again.
Fantastic battle he's putting up here. Very different look from his first 2 at-bats where they were low pitch counts.
Here comes the 0-2. Fouled straight back. A few booths to our left. Our window's open.
Gotta be ready for anything up here.
Never say never. 0-2 from Miller to Velasquez. Went off speed, and Velasquez chased the high cheese. Comes up empty, so it's a 1-2-3 frame with a couple of strikeouts for Miller. No hits, no runs, none left. At the end of 7, still 2-1 Michigan, as Jacob Denner comes out for more.
Denner and Miller are really continuing this pitching battle here. Miller, great showing there, 3 out, 3 down. Denner's coming back out to the ball, and he's just going to try to put on that same dominant performance, keeping this momentum. He's going to still rely on a little bit of that off speed, but his fastball has been doing some dirty things to these Penn State players today. So
Renard and Denner, the formula that has baffled Penn State's hitters all afternoon. The Nittany Lions with just 4 hits and 1 run. Michigan has just 3 hits. Henline's been fantastic, and Miller pitched in a dominant inning of work in the last frame. but timely hits have gone in Michigan's favor, and that's why the Wolverines have the 2-1 lead at the moment. Michigan won Friday, they won Saturday, now trying to complete the trifecta and sweep Penn State to begin Big Ten play. They're just 6 outs away from doing so. 9-1-2 in the batting order due up for Penn State. The same 3 that sparked the Penn State rally in the 6th and chased Bernard from the game. Taven Kelly into the box to lead off the top of the 8th for the Nittany Lions. Penn State almost in dire straits. They have 6 outs left to play with to avoid a 3-game sweep as Michigan leads 2-1. Jacob Dennert's faced 4 batters in relief this afternoon. He struck out 3 of them and induced a comebacker. He's been very effective in relief for Noah Bernard, who was brilliant as well. Right-handed hitting Kelly in the box. First pitch, shot to first. Van Remortel with the diving catch. He covered the line and smothered the baseball, seeing it into his mitt, sprawling to his left for the first out of the inning.
Fantastic play there by Van Remortel. You could see the disappointment in Kelly's face over running down the line that was caught and not a double.
And Kelly thought he had himself a double down the first base line, just shooting it that way, but Van Remortel, who has been hugging the first base line all day, makes the play. Back to the top of the order for Penn State. Bramley at the dish for a 4th time today, and then the left-hand hitter watches the first pitch low and away, 1-0. Lefty on lefty here. In Bramley's last at-bat, he roped a double to left center that drove in the only Penn State run of the afternoon and was eventually stranded at third when Denner came on and struck out Spiegel. The 1-0 misses low and away, ball 2. Bramley, the catcher, hitting at a .319 clip. His first at-bat against a left-hander this afternoon. Harry waits on deck. The 2-0 on the outside corner, 2-1. 1 away in the top of the 8th, nobody on, and Michigan up 2-1. Wolverines 5 outs away from a 3-game sweep to kick off Big Ten play. Denner comes set. Kicks and deals, the 2-1. On the outside corner, a changeup, 2-2. So Denner has worked his way back from 2-0 to 2-2. Bird in shallow right field against the left-hand hitting Bramley. Outfield straight away, fairly deep. Here's the 2-2, right back to the mound. Denner kicks it, gathers on the mound, has plenty of time, and makes the throw over to first base. Let's see if Denner's okay. He squats and now walks it off, and he is okay. Nice wherewithal from Denner to knock that one down and then gather and fire just in time for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, fantastic play there by Denner. Also very smart that he turned his back to the ball to knock it down rather than risk injury on either his pitching hand or landing side. So.
Denner's now fielded 2. Takes a little while getting back on the mound here to shake that one off. Jay Harry into the box for Penn State. He's 0 of 3 this afternoon. His average dipped down to 296. Flown out 3 times as he watches that one low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Denner slipped a little bit on that one, kind of landed off to the side. Don't know if he's shaken up from the stop or just a little miscue.
Kyle Hannon on deck with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Lifts it to shallow left center. Marty easing back, makes the catch, and it's an easy 1-2-3 frame for Jacob Denner in the top of the 8th. Still 2-1 Michigan as the Wolverines look to tack on some insurance runs in the bottom half of the inning.
And we are seeing Miller return to the bump here in relief. He had a great inning last inning for Penn State in their relieving efforts, so he's back out there. Coach calls upon him. We'll see how these Michigan hitters do. We got the 6, 7, 8 of the Wolverines lineup coming up, so kind of bottom of the order, but that has been an effective part of this weekend's stint, so don't count anyone out here for the Wolverines.
Sotrace, Van Remortel, and Voigt, the three due up for Michigan. Van Remortel and Voigt, the only two Wolverines to score this afternoon. They got that rally started in the third. Van Remortel hit by the pitch, and then Voigt with the double, and they would both come around to score that inning. 2-1 Michigan here in the bottom of the eighth from Ray Fisher Stadium. Wolverines 3 outs away from a weekend sweep to begin Big Ten play against the Nittany Lions. Stephen Miller out for more after a 1-2-3 frame with a couple of punch outs in the seventh. This pitch now 16 2/3 innings on the year. He's given up 10 runs, has struck out 19, but also surrendered 20 hits. So typically a lot of traffic on the base paths against Miller.
And Socha's due up first here. MSU transfer, he's fitting very well with this team and filled that position as catcher. So exactly what we needed. Base hit runner was what this team was looking for, and he's filled that role greatly.
Sotrace, 214 hitter, 0 for 2 on the day. Takes the first pitch from Miller, low and away, ball 1. Miller relieved 10 line in the seventh. Struck out a pair in a scoreless frame. Sotrace high chopper over the head of Norris and into left field for a base hit. Sotrace takes a hard turn around first, but he'll hold on there for a leadoff single. Well, Sotrace with a Baltimore chop that skied over Norris's head and trickled into left center for a leadoff hit. So Michigan eyeing an insurance run here, up 2-1 in the bottom of the eighth. Wolverines now have 4 hits on the afternoon. Sotrace, the runner off first. Van Remortel at the dish. Looks to bunt, but first a throw over. Sotrace back in safely. Van Remortel made that sparkling play to rob Kelly of an extra base hit, leading off the eighth. That really set the tone for that inning, which wound up to be a clean 1-2-3 frame by Denner. Here's the first pitch. Van Remortel gets the bunt down. Miller off the mound to get it. Flips to first. And Sotrace scampers down towards second. It's a successful sacrifice bunt for Jake Van Remortel to set the tables for Mitch Voigt. 1 away. And Sotrace on at second.
Yeah, I like the call there, the sac bunt. Get the runner in scoring position for your star freshman to step up into the plate.
Voigt 1 for 2 this afternoon. He doubled and scored in the third. Small lead off second for Sotrace. First pitch off speed, bends outside, 1-0. Voigt, the freshman sensation, who Tracy Smith says is just scratching the surface. A two-way player. Here's the 1-0 off speed, low and away, 2-0. Jonathan Kim, who's 0 for 2 with an RBI, looms on deck. Sotrace leads off second, 2-0 the count to Voigt. Miller deals. Flared to second, a sliding stop by Hannon. Throws out Voigt at first. Slick play on the edge of the infield dirt by Hannon at second to retire Voigt for the second out of the inning. Sotrace goes down to third as Kim will look to drive in an insurance run here with 2 away in the eighth and Michigan up 2-1.
Yeah, that was an underrated play by Hannon. He was keeping the guy close at second and had to recover to make that ground ball play, but it was a great play and way to advance the runner for our team.
So Kim, now tasked with trying to drive in Sotrace with 2 away. He'll try to bunt, and he fouls it straight back. So Kim with the idea of bunting for a hit with 2 away and Sotrace on a third. Not sure if he did that on his own or got a signal, but a little bit of a perplexing decision there.
Yeah, an odd situation to call a squeeze bunt in when you're only up by 1, but got to get the runs on the board somehow.
Norris playing in now at third, level with the runner. And Kim slashes it foul wide of third, and he's in a 0-2 hole. Two-way here in the bottom of the eighth. Miller looking to keep this a 1-run game. Kim has other ideas. Sotrace, the runner on third. 0-2 the count. Miller at the belt and deals. Upstairs, 1-2. Bramley reaching out of his crouch to grab it. And Bramley's got to be on his toes here too, with Sotrace dancing off of third. And Miller a little erratic at times with his 5.19 ERA. Here's the 1-2. Kim pulls it foul up the first base side, and he stays alive.
Great battle here by Kim to stay alive and keep those hopes alive for that extra run.
Kim hitting at a .395 clip. He has 5 hits this weekend. Looking for a 6th. Miller's 1-2 off speed, fouled off down the left field side. He waited on that, but couldn't get the barrel around, and the 79-mile-an-hour pitch. Sotrace is on at third. He singled to begin the inning, advanced to second on a sac bunt, and to third on a ground out. Here's Miller's 1-2 upstairs, 2-2. So Kim working a good turn of bat against the Penn State reliever Miller. Miller at the belt again. Here comes the 2-2. Chop towards third. Norris in fair territory behind the bag. The long throws up the line. Gets by the first baseman. Kim darts to second, and he's in. We'll see how they rule it, but it doesn't matter for Michigan because Sotrace is in with an insurance run, and it's 3-1 Wolverines. Well, Norris made a nice play just to grab that ball over his head at the bag, and then the throw on a hop got away from Pichardo and was wild up the line. It's at least an error, a one-bag error, but the question is it a two-bag error? Kim, who has a lot of speed, was flying down the line. And so Miller allows that insurance run to come in, and they'll rule it a throwing error on Norris, who has been spectacularly sure-handed for most of the day. And Norris, the official scorer, will say it allowed Kim to reach and then scamper down to second.
Yeah, Norris had been perfect up until that point. I mean, hitting side, he hasn't been doing all too decently this weekend, but his defense has been something special this week. He's been locked down over at third base, so it's odd to see him make an error like that, but it was also a very difficult play, rolling to his right and trying to come back across his body.
Long meeting at the mound right now with the Penn State's pitching coach, the entire infield, and Miller. As Cody Jeffress steps into the box, Michigan looking for more. Kim has been at the plate for 2 of Michigan's runs so far this afternoon, one a ground out to short, and the other an error by Norris. That's just kind of how this game has gone, a low-scoring 3-1 affair, each side with only 4 hits. Michigan with the upper hand. Kim dances off of second. Miller looks back at him, now deals to Jeffries. First pitch swing, comes up empty on the breaking ball, 0-1. Jeffries 1 of 3 this afternoon. He drove in Michigan's second run with a single to left center in the third. Kim leads off second. Harry shadows him, keeping him close to the bag as Jeffries pulls the breaking ball up the first base side. Foul, 0-2. Miller looking to keep this a 2-run game. He's already allowed that insurance run to come home. And Penn State's offense has been so subdued that can't really afford a deficit greater than this. 0-2 to Jeffries, rides outside on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. Kim has a lot of speed. He's dancing off second. Harry, the shortstop, doing his best to keep him close. Miller peers back towards second, now looks in and deals. Upstairs on a fastball, 2-2. Jeffries, left-handed hitter. The stalwart atop the order has started each one of Michigan's game at short and leading off. The 2-2 inside nearly hit him. Jeffries bends back out of the way, and he's worked the count full after falling behind 0-2. And Miller just unable to put him away. The same thing happened with Kim, who fouled off a number of pitches to stay alive. 3-2, 2 outs. Michigan up 3-1, looking for another insurance run. Here's the pitch. Jeffries fouls it up the first base side, and we'll do it again. If Jeffries is to reach, Marty, who's had a rough day at the dish, stands on deck. Miller would surely like to end the inning here. Penn State in a 3-1 hole. Michigan eyeing more. Here's the 3-2. Low and in, ball 4. Jeffries with an emphatic flip of the back to the dugout. Worked his way out of an 0-2 hole to draw a walk. And now runners are in first and second with 2 away. And we'll see who Michigan's going to bring to bat here. Jake Marty, who was in the on-deck circle, just went back to the dugout. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Marty here. With 2 on and 2 out, Michigan up 3-1, and the Wolverines trying to break this game open. It'll be Tito Flores, the senior outfielder who normally draws the start in left field and at the 2 hole, but did not today. Flores gets in the game off the bench. He's been struggling, hitting just 195 as 1 home run. He's driven in 10. Looking for some more RBI here. Kim leads off second, Jeffries off of first. Good speed on the bases. First pitch from Miller to Flores. Tails outside on a fastball, 1-0.
I think Miller's starting to panic a little bit on the bump. I don't think that pitching coach coming out and helping him settle down didn't do too much for him. He's looking a little fearful.
Got 2 men on. Kim dancing off of second as the lead runner. The 1-0 to Flores. Swing and a miss at a curveball, 1-1. There's the pitch that perhaps Miller needs to get his feet back under him here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 run already home. Michigan up 3-1 and 3 outs away from a sweep. The 1-1 to Flores, chopped to third, foul. And it's 1-2. Flores has struck out 14 times in the year, now in a 1-2 hole. Miller had 2 strikes on Kim and Jeffries and couldn't retire either one. Kim reached on the error by Norris that allowed Sotrace to score, and Jeffries worked a walk. The 1-2 to Flores, low and away. Ball 2 as Flores shows good discipline laying off that pitch. The outfield straight away, fairly deep. Harry at shortstop on the lip of the grass. Hannon at second, a few feet away from the bag to keep Kim close. A big hole on the right side of the infield. 2-2 to Flores, fouled at the plate off his body, and it stays 2-2. Miller laboring now. Has thrown 38 pitches so far through 1 2/3 plus innings of work. The 2-2 to Flores. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Flores goes down looking, but Michigan gets the insurance run it coveted. 1 hit in the inning. It was enough to score 1 run. 2 are left, and at the end of 8 from Ray Fisher Stadium, Michigan's up 3-1, 3 outs away from a sweep.
That was a great inning by the Wolverines. It was perfect to put a little bit of pressure on Penn State, swing the momentum your way. You're seeing Denner coming back out here. He's going to try to finish off this game for them the same way he's finished off these last 2 innings. He's just been putting on a dominant performance, very thought-out pitching routines, and seems to be working well for the Michigan Wolverines, whatever they have going on today.
And Jacob Denner, who relieved Noah Bernard with 2 outs and 2 on in the 6th, proceeded to retire. The next 7 batters he faced, is out for more in the 9th. Defensive substitution for the Wolverines, with Marty being taken out of the game for the pinch hitter in Flores. We have a new left fielder in Pitts. Robert Pitts Jr., 5'10" freshman from L.A., manning left field. And Jacob Denner has just about wrapped up his warm-up pitches. Penn State looking to avoid the sweep. Only 2 runs here to tie the game in a 3-1 hole. They only have 4 hits on the afternoon. It's the heart of the order up against Denner. 3, 4, 5 in Hannon, Piacentino, and then Spiegel, who pinch hit for Marsh back in the 6th. First pitch from Denner to the left hand hitting Hannon, bends outside, 1-0. Hannon's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. He had the first hit of the ball game off Bernard with 2 away in the first. 301 hitter on the year. 1-0 lifts it high to right. Greg Pace makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Pace in there for Velasquez in right, so it's Pitts in left, Kim in center, and Pace in right. Here outfield for the Wolverines, a defensive-minded outfield with one away here in the ninth, and Piacentino stepping to the plate. 8 up, 8 down this afternoon for Denner. Penn State hasn't managed any hard contact against him. He struck out 3 and induced a couple of comebackers. First pitch to Piacentino, low and away, 1-0. Michigan has used its offense to win the first 2 games of the series, belting out double-digit run totals in each affair. The 1-0 from Denner, wave and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. But the Wolverines are using a different formula this afternoon. The pitching. Renard started and was magnificent through 6 2/3. And then Denner has been brilliant in relief as the 1-1 misses outside, 2-1.
Yeah, this is kind of what we expected to see the whole series. It just was not what was happening, so it's a good kind of back to reality game for both of these teams.
Denner at the belt, deals the 2-1. Piacentino lifts it foul down the first base side, and it's 2-2. Penn State in a desperate need of a base runner, which would bring the tying run to the plate. Piacentino looking to provide a spark. Comes the 2-2, flare towards center. Kim coming in, makes the catch. That ball hung out for a long time, and Kim, who started back, was able to make up ground in a hurry. And the Nittany Lions are down to their final out. Spiegel was the first batter to face Denner in the 6th and went down looking. Is now the Nittany Lions' last breath of air. Outfield and infield straight up. First pitch to Spiegel. Lifts it in the air towards left center. Pitts and Kim in the gap. Kim coming on, and he'll make the running catch. And the ball game is over. Michigan beats Penn State 3-1 to secure a weekend sweep of the Nittany Lions to begin Big Ten play.
Yeah, first time in 4 years the Wolverines have swept their first Big Ten opening weekend at home, so this is a great win for them. Great way to start conference play for this season.
A 3-1 win on this Sunday afternoon for the Wolverines. They do it in just an hour 45 minutes of game time. Sparkling pitching, Noah Renard, 5 2/3 innings of 1-run ball, and then Jacob Denner in relief faced 10 batters and retired them all. Michigan had just 5 hits, but that's all it needed. It scored 3 runs, 2 in the 2nd, and then an insurance run in the 8th. And it's a win for the Wolverines on Sunday here at Ray Fisher Stadium to secure a 3-game sweep of the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, fantastic way to kick off this opening series. And Penn State's a rough team. They have what it takes to win some Big Ten games or even this side of the conference. So for Michigan to take this opening weekend is huge for their momentum.
3-1 win today for Michigan. Renard gets the win. Denner with the save. Wolverines sweep the Nittany Lions, moving their record to 12-11. Well, that's going to do it for WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball this afternoon. 3-1 Wolverines, your victors. For Eddie Olejniczak, I'm Jared Greenspan. We're going to leave you like we always do. Thanks for listening. Good night, and a go blue.